Hey, remember Wolfenstein? Doesn't matter if you don't, you'll still like this game. Hey guys, Todd here. Wanted to talk about another game from last year, this time a good one that I really enjoyed. Wolfenstein The New Order. So I'm sure most of you guys remember Wolfenstein, whether you played it growing up or played it as an adult, kind of curious about the history of video games. This new game is a reboot, I suppose you'd call it, but it really doesn't matter. It's just a fantastic back to basics first-person shooter. Wolfenstein was one of the very first first-person shooters. It really started the genre, and in a time now where so many games kind of innovate for innovation's sake and add these new features and just weigh you down with so many different abilities and gadgets, Wolfenstein is so pure. It is basically about going and killing Nazis with all kinds of fun weapons. I mean, you can dual wield shotguns, you can dual wield assault rifles, you can dual wield sniper rifles. It is just stupid, crazy fun. And at the end of the day, that's what video games are meant to be. They're meant to be fun, and often violence is fun. So Wolfenstein The New Order it actually has a lot more story and a lot more characterization than the previous Wolfenstein games. You still play as William DJ Blazkowicz, but this time he's a lot more character to him insofar as he actually is a character. The game is kind of funny. The story first of all is it's set in the opening hour of the game. You fail to defeat the Nazis, and then kind of you wake up again in 1960, and Nazis have won the war and they control the world. This alternate history is not a particularly original idea, but it is new enough and different enough to be engaging from the start, and it kept me engaged throughout. But yet the World War II, the whole Nazi thing, was still familiar enough that it allowed me to leap right in from the start and kind of enjoy it from the word go. The story itself is weirdly enough is kind of poignant at times, and it tries to be quite deep and serious, and despite the fact that this is a game with Nazi cyborgs, Nazi robo-dogs, and a freaking Nazi moon base, the conflicting tones actually never kind of work against each other. It manages to be crazy, wacky fun, and yet have this kind of deep, resonant meaning to it as well. Blazkowicz throughout the entire game really feels like he doesn't want to be fighting. He feels like he's tired of it all. He feels like he's kind of had he's given his time to his country type of thing. And it was pleasantly refreshing to have a kind of a meathead first-person shooter protagonist who, yeah, he went around mowing down Nazis for the entire game, and yet he was kind of jaded with it all. It was refreshing and poignant, but still crazy fun with a Nazi moon base. There isn't really a lot to say about this game. The visuals are all really nice. It was really cool, especially I really enjoyed moments when you're outdoors and it's raining and you're sneaking up on Nazis and shooting them with silenced pistol or knifing them. That was all very atmospheric and cool. Textures aren't massively polished, but it's all pretty good. The sound is really cool, really makes you feel like you're in this crazy war zone, but still informs you about where enemy placement might be. The storytelling, as I said, is really surprisingly good. The gameplay is just so much fun. It's just without regenerating health and without a cover system, all these modern game mechanics, which actually are not bad things. I find all those modern game mechanics absolutely fine. But by stripping those away and putting the game right back to its basics, it's just you and the artificial intelligence, and you create the dynamics of the fight organically and spontaneously yourself, and it was just so much fun to play like that, and the ability to dual wield shotguns and assault rifles and everything, it just makes it crazy, wacky fun. At the end of the day, violence can be fun, and video games are meant to be fun, and this game basically takes those ideas and runs with them. The game isn't massively long. Maybe, I mean, to be honest, you could complete in anything really from 10 to 20 hours, and there's no multiplayer, although I think that's a good thing. They've focused on the single player and made a brilliant experience. The replay value is not going to come from the alternate timelines. They're basically the same. I certainly wouldn't replay it for the sake of the alternate timeline. The replay is going to come from the increased difficulty, especially if you want to play this game on the uber difficulty. You better bring your A game, and you better have some patience and some quick reflexes. If you didn't play Wolfenstein The New Order last year, you absolutely should check it out. It really was one of the most fantastic games of 2014. Overall, I rate Wolfenstein The New Order a 7 out of 10. The visuals, the audio and all that, the performance of the game was all rock solid, but what makes this game stand above the rest is just the incredibly fun gameplay. Thank you so much for watching, guys. What did you think of Wolfenstein The New Order? Let me know down in the comments below. If you want to check out my full written review, I will leave a link for that in the description. And until then, I will see you next time. Take care. Nazis are bastards.